talking about one of the hardest and most misunderstood phases of bodybuilding, the reverse diet, or basically what happens after you finish competing. Honestly, it's not the prep that breaks most people. It's not peak week. It's what happens after all your comps are done. Post-comp is where athletes either set themselves up to come back better, or they undo everything they've worked so hard for. And if you're listening to this right now, maybe you've been there. Maybe you've nailed it. Maybe you've nailed the prep. You've stepped up on stage, but now structure's gone. Your purpose is confused. Your hunger's through the roof and your head's all over the place. Hormones are probably all over the show as well. So today we're going to dive into this properly, the science of the reverse dieting, the mindset, why it matters, some real strategies and examples you can use to make this phase not just survivable, but the very thing that sets you up for long-term success. So the science of reverse dieting, when you prep for a show, you push your body to the edge. Low calories, high output, very low body fat percentage. This doesn't just strip the body fat, it's physiology. Metabolism slows down, aka adaptive thermogenesis. A 2010 study showed that after dieting, your body burns fewer calories at rest compared to someone of the same weight who didn't diet. Ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, skyrockets, while leptin, your satiety hormone, plummets. That's why post-comp hunger feels insatiable. Hormones like your thyroid and sex hormones take a hit as well. They only recover with time and fuel, aka food. So what does a reverse diet do? Instead of throwing yourself straight back into a surplus and piling on unnecessary body fat, you gradually increase calories, giving your metabolism, your hormones, and training performance time to normalize and adapt. Think of your metabolism like a thermostat or regulator. During prep, you've dialed it right down to save energy. If you suddenly crank that dial all the way back up to max by eating everything in sight, the system overshoots. You get hot fast, you burn out, you get the shakes, bloated, a huge amount of water retention, and you just feel disgusting and hungover. Your body needs to adapt smoothly and slowly over time to keep things stable. That's what a reverse diet does. It brings your metabolism back online in a controlled way. Reverse diets truly work and they do matter because we know that prep, you're not really building muscle. Prep just shows the muscle that we've built generally in the off season. And the off season is where we make the changes. And this is another aspect of why nailing your reverse is crucial to your long-term success. Reverse dieting is the bridge between survival mode and growth mode. It restores your body's ability to train hard, recover, and actually build new tissue, aka muscle. Without it, you end up being tired, inflamed, gaining fat rapidly, and feeling like you've lost total control. This can affect your hormones, mood, and energy in a really negative way. And look, let's be real about this as well. You have had your whole fucking life to eat whatever you want. We are just asking you to sacrifice a little bit of food for a few weeks or months out of the rest of your life. You've got plenty of time to eat food again, but the goal isn't to binge because you missed out. The goal is to use food for its intended purpose, aka fueling your body, driving strength, and laying the foundation for muscle growth. This is what makes the greats. Champions don't just crush prep. They take that same mentality and apply it to the off season as well. And it starts with your reverse. Post-comp can also feel like a mental crash. You go from this really disciplined structure, routine, and massive purpose in your life to suddenly nothing. No deadlines, no hard rules. That's where the post-show blues can kick in. And that's really normal. Research in physique athletes shows higher rates of post-comp anxiety and depression. Why? Because you lose that sense of identity, your purpose. You're no longer that shredded version of yourself. Here's the point. You are not defined by your conditioning on stage. Your identity isn't being shredded. Your identity is an athlete. And athletes train year round. The goal just shifts. Instead of chasing leanness, you just refocus and shift the goalposts. Your new goal is recovery, growth, strength, optimizing our training. And I've heard this a lot. People say prep wasn't even that hard. Coming out of it feels even harder because I don't have a clear goal anymore. And look, that's really real and common. Prep is quite simple. It's black and white. Do the work and get the result. Reverse can be messy. It's shades of grey. But that's where our growth happens. Champions don't crumble when the structure's gone. They create new structure and keep moving forward with a long-term vision as well. And some athletes can develop fear of food after prep. You've spent months labeling food as good and bad, and you can't eat this, can't eat that. Then suddenly, post-show, you don't know how to handle normal eating anymore. But look, food isn't the enemy. There is no such thing as good and bad food. There is optimal and suboptimal food. Food that will take you closer to your goals and food that will take you further away if we have too much of it. Food is the raw material for growth. Every carb you eat fuels performance. Every calorie helps you restore hormones. Every gram of protein builds muscle that you'll show in your next comp. So we need to reframe our thinking. You're not breaking your diet. You're fueling your future. And to fuel your future, we want quality food, whole food. And often we have athletes that are terrified of adding carbs back in. They thought the moment they ate bread, they'd blow up. Instead, we slowly add carbs, tracked their lifts, and within a couple of weeks, their performance skyrocketed. They can squat heavier than ever, their energy is back, physique is changing rapidly, and they're feeling good about themselves. That is what doing a proper, fueled reverse diet does. In particular with bodybuilding, it's not just the show, it's not just the prep. It's about what you do every day, year after year after year. One prep is just a chapter in a novel. Champions are made in the off-season. Think about some of the athletes that you look up to and you admire. They don't just get shredded once. They come back bigger, better, and stronger year after year. That's because they respect the reverse. They respect the off-season. They fuel their bodies, push their training, and use this time to actually improve. Because again, changes and adaptation is made in the off-season. We're just polishing the diamond in your prep. Your goal now isn't to stay stage lean. Your goal is to build such an improved physique that when you diet down next season, you're unrecognizable compared to last time. I don't see the point in competing year after year looking exactly the same. So how can you actually handle the reverse? We need to have good structure and accountability still. Weekly check-ins, body weight, strength logs, tracking our training, photos. Not to obsess over fat gain, but to ensure progress. Planned refeeds, allowing us to go out, have social meals, enjoy food, but with control. Not letting food control us. We want to track our training, progressive overload, increasing our volume, our strength, our weights, and take advantage of the calories in the appropriate time. We need to optimize our sleep, stress, and hydration are crucial for appetite regulation and hormone recovery. The discipline here isn't about restriction. It's about consistency in fueling training and your recovery. You might have thought that you've lost all discipline post-show because you couldn't stop thinking about food. But once we set up a structure, increase calories over time, focus on your training, PBs, and a weekly off meal, we can find our purpose and structure again. The mindset can be shifted from I can't eat that to how do I fuel my training and recovery today? And that's the difference. And as competitors, as coaches and athletes, you're always leading by example. If you disappear post-comp because you're embarrassed of weight gain, what message does that actually send? But if we own our reverse, own our mistakes as well, fuel and focus on training hard and recovery, and show people that bodybuilding is a year-round discipline, you will inspire many others. It's not about being perfect, it's just about making sure we learn from everything that we try and achieve as well. Make a mistake, learn, grow, move forward in a positive way. The prep isn't what makes you great, it's what you do every other day of the year. Again, prep is polishing the diamond that's already there. If you are struggling post-comp or you have struggled post-comp, let me know. I want to tell you this, you're not broken, you're not weak. What you're feeling is quite normal. It's your physiology and psychology adjusting. But champions don't let feelings dictate actions. This is your time to fuel, to grow, to push, and to set the standard for what you want to achieve for the next year. We want to bring an even better version of you every time we hit the stage. Reverse dieting isn't punishment, and again, it's only for a short period of time. And it's the key factor to making sure that our off season is the best we can possibly make it. Stay disciplined, stay fueled, and remember, the greats are made in the off season.